Good morning, students. In the last lecture, we discussed about the kinetic energy of a molecule. Today, we are going to discuss degrees of freedom and the law of equipartition of energy. Now, in the last lecture, we have seen that the kinetic energy per molecule at a given temperature is given by kinetic energy of a molecule at a given temperature is equal to 3 by 2 kBT. Now what is kB? kB is the Boltzmann constant and this T is nothing but the absolute temperature of the gas. Now we are going to discuss here the law of equipartition of energy. This is the total energy because there is no interaction between the molecules, so there is no potential energy term in the energy of the gas. So we considering the kinetic energy is the internal energy, total internal energy of the molecule. Now this energy is divided into the number of motions this molecule is performing. For example, this molecule is going along the x-axis, then its kinetic energy will be 1 by 2 mvx square, where this vx is the velocity along the x-axis. Similarly, along the y-axis it is equal to 1 by 2 mvy square, and along the z-axis it is equal to 1 by 2 mvz square. So we can distribute this energy into the three energies along x-axis, y-axis and z-axis respectively. So we can write here this kinetic energy is equal to 1 by 2 m vx square plus 1 by 2 m vy square plus 1 by 2 m vz square. But by the symmetry of the container, the velocity along the x-axis, along the y-axis and along the z-axis will be same, as well as the mass of the molecule also remains constant along any of the axes. So we can say that this 1 by 2 mvx square is equal to 1 by 2 mvy square, and is also equal to 1 by 2 mvz square. So we can write here it is 1 by 2 mvx square is equal to 1 by 2 mvy square is equal to 1 by 2 mvz square. So what is the kinetic energy? This kinetic energy is equal to 3 by 2 kBT, which is equal to 3 by 2 mvx square. We are considering this equation because we stated earlier that this Vx, V and Vz and the kinetic energy will be same. So we consider it along the x-axis. So we can write here it is 1 by 2 kBT is equal to 1 by 2 mvx square, which is equal to 1 by 2 mvy square, which is equal to 1 by 2 mvz square. So the energy along x-axis, along y-axis and along z-axis is equal to 1 by 2 kBT, and by adding along this three axes the kinetic energy, total kinetic energy of a molecule is given as 3 by 2 kBT. So we can say that the energy along each axis, along each degree of freedom is equal to 1 by 2 kBT. So this is the law of equipartition, which state that the kinetic energy is divided along the motion of the particle, in which it can move along the x-axis, y-axis or z-axis. It is the law of equipartition of energy, which state that the important to remember is that the energy associated with a molecule per degree freedom is equal to 1 by 2 kB. Now, as the degrees of freedom increases, the energy also increases. Now, what happened? What is degree of freedom? We are discussing here the equipartition of energy, as well as we are discussing about the degrees of freedom. What is the degree of freedom? For example, consider a molecule is moving along x-axis. Suppose this molecule is moving along the x-axis. Then there is only one coordinate required to describe the configuration and the position of this molecule. So we can say that this molecule having only 1 degree of freedom, that is the x coordinates is only required for its configuration. Now, if we considering a two-dimensional case in which a molecule either is moving towards the y-axis or it can either moving towards the x-axis, and to determine the exact configuration and position of this molecule, we minimum need two coordinates, x coordinate and y coordinate. So this 2 is the degree of freedom of the molecule in the two-dimensional case. Similarly, in the case of three-dimensional container, this molecule can move along the x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. So there are 3 degrees of freedom for the molecule along which it can move freely. So from this explanation, from these examples, how we can define the degrees of freedom? The degrees of freedom are the minimum coordinates required to describe the position and configuration of a molecule. It is called as the degree of freedom. We already see in the case of one dimension, it has only 1 degree of freedom. In the case of two dimension, it has 2 degree of freedom, and in the case of 3 dimension container, it has 3 degrees of freedom. So we define the degree of freedom. Now we are moving towards how we can determine the degrees of freedom of a monoatomic gas, polyatomic gas and diatomic gas. Now monoatomic gas means a gas which contains a single molecule, a molecule made up of a single atom. It is called as a monoatomic gas. So, how we can determine the degrees of freedom of the monoatomic gas? This monoatomic gas is have freedom to move everywhere inside the container along x-axis, along y-axis or either in the z-axis. So we can say that for the monoatomic gas there are only 3 degrees of freedom. Now these degrees of freedom are divided into 3 types, that are translational, second one is the rotational, and the third one it is called as the vibrational. So in the case of monoatomic gas having contained the molecule of a single atom, it can possess only the translational degrees of freedom. And how many degrees of freedom are there? There are 3 degrees of freedom along x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. But this monoatomic gas does not possess rotational as well as vibrational degrees of freedom. Why? Because a single atom cannot rotate. A single atom cannot rotate. The single atom can rotate about its own axis, but it cannot rotate about a given axis. So vibrational degree of freedom, because one atom, the molecule contain one atom, is not vibrate about its mean position. So we can say that this monoatomic gas, the molecules in the monoatomic gas has only 3 translational degrees of freedom. Now we are moving towards the diatomic gas. What is diatomic gas? Diatomic gas means a gas in which the molecule contain 2 atoms. For example, oxygen, which contain O2, nitrogen, N2, H2. These are the diatomic molecules. Now, what happens in the case of diatomic molecules? How many degrees of freedom does this diatomic molecule possesses? So, in the case of diatomic molecule, it has 3 degrees of freedom, 3 degrees of translational degrees of freedom. How? The diatomic molecule can move along x-axis as well as along y-axis as well as along the z-axis. So it possesses 3 translational degrees of freedom. It also possesses rotational degrees of freedom. How? Because consider this molecule, diatomic molecule, for example oxygen and oxygen. So there is a bond between these 2 atoms. Suppose these 2 atoms are revolving about a given axis. So it possesses the rotational degrees of freedom. But how many ways it can rotate? It can rotate about 2 ways. How? In the clockwise direction and in the anti-clockwise direction. So we can say that this diatomic molecule possesses 2 rotational degrees of freedom, in the clockwise sense and in the anti-clockwise sense. So now we are moving towards the vibrational. For diatomic molecule, there are 2 vibrational degrees of freedom. How? Suppose this is the molecule, diatomic molecule. It can vibrate only along the intermolecular axis. This is the line which is nothing but the intermolecular axis, the axis between which connect the centers of the molecules. So we can say that this molecule can vibrate about 2 positions, 2 types. Either they come closer, either they are going away from each other. So in this way, this molecule, diatomic molecule, can vibrate about 2 types, either they come closer to each other, either they going away from each other. So we already stated that how many translational degrees of freedom a diatomic molecule has. It has 3 degrees of freedom. How many rotational? There are 2 rotational degrees of freedom. And how many vibrational degrees of freedom? There are 2. So we can write, if add this all degrees of freedom, there are 7 degrees of freedom. Okay, so this is in the case of a non-rigid rotator. This is in the case of non-rigid rotator. What is rigid rotator and non-rigid rotator? If the distance between 2 molecules remains constant, as in the case of rigid body, so it is called as a rigid rotator. So it cannot possess the vibrational degrees of freedom. So there are 0 degrees of freedom in the case of rigid rotator. In the case of non-rigid rotator, there are 2 vibrational degrees of freedom. So we can say that the total degrees of freedom in the case of diatomic gas is equal to 7. We already stated that the kinetic energy or the energy associated per molecule per degree of freedom is equal to 1 by 2 kBT. So for the diatomic gas, for the diatomic gas, it has 3 translational degrees of freedom, and for each degree of freedom the energy is equal to 1 by 2 kBT. Therefore for the 3 degrees of freedom it is equal to 3 by 2 kBT. Similarly, 2 rotational degrees of freedom, each degree of freedom have energy 1 by 2 kBT. So we can write here it is 2 by 2 kBT plus but it also possesses 2 vibrational degrees of freedom. So we can write here it is also 2 by 2 kBT. So we can write here it is equal to 7 by 2 kBT. This is the energy of a diatomic molecule in a closed container. Okay, here we discuss about the equipartition of energy, which state that the energy associated with each molecule per degree freedom is equal to 1 by 2 kBT and always remains same. But as the degrees of freedom increases, the energy of the molecules also increases. Now then we move towards the degrees of freedom. What are degree of freedom? It is the minimum number of coordinates which are required to specify to describe the position and configuration of a molecule in a container. It is called as a degree of freedom. For the monoatomic gas, for example helium, which is the inert gas which cannot form the molecule, so it is the monoatomic gas in case there are only 3 translational degrees of freedom. In the case of diatomic gas, for example oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen, these are the diatomic gases which contain translational, rotational as well as the vibrational degrees of freedom. The total degrees of freedom is equal to 7, and we know that each degree of freedom have energy equal to 1 by 2 kBT. So the total energy is equal to 7 by 2 kBT in the case of the diatomic molecule. Now in the next section, in the next lecture, we are going to discuss the Mayer's relation and the adiabatic ratio we are going to determine for the monoatomic, diatomic as well as the polyatomic gases. This is for today. Have a good day. Thank you.